My friends, life is not always about what happens to us. It is about how we choose to respond. The same storm can sink one ship but guide another safely to the shore. Why? Because mentally strong people think differently. They see challenges not as punishments, but as opportunities. They don't ask, why me? They ask, what is God trying to teach me through this? When the world complains about problems, mentally strong people search for solutions. When others lose themselves in negativity, they anchor their mind in gratitude. And when people run after temporary happiness, they find strength in spiritual wisdom and inner peace. Today, I want to share with you how mentally strong people think differently and how you too can build this strength within yourself. My dear friends, one of the biggest differences between mentally strong people and ordinary people lies in where they place their focus. Most people want comfort. They want a smooth road, an easy path, a life without too many storms. And in the process of chasing comfort, they forget growth. But those who are truly strong in mind and spirit know a simple truth. Comfort never creates strength, only challenges do. Think about this. If you go to the gym and lift the lightest weights every single day, will your muscles ever grow? Of course not. The body only becomes stronger when you push it beyond its limits, when you challenge it with resistance. The same principle applies to the mind. A life without challenges may look comfortable, but it produces weakness. On the other hand, a life that embraces challenges produces resilience, wisdom, and true mental strength. Every one of us has faced situations where life did not go according to our plan. Maybe you wanted to succeed in a job interview but didn't get selected. Maybe you trusted a friend but were betrayed. Maybe you studied hard but didn't get the results you expected. In those moments, it is easy to ask, why me? Why is life so unfair? But mentally strong people ask a different question. What is this situation teaching me? How can I grow through this challenge? That simple shift in thinking is what makes them different. They don't see problems as punishments, they see them as opportunities. For example, let's say two students fail the same exam. One says, I'm not smart enough, maybe this is not for me, and gives up. The other says, all right, I failed this time. Let me understand what mistakes I made. Let me study harder. Let me ask for guidance. And next time I will come back stronger. Both had the same experience, but one focused on comfort, avoiding pain by quitting, while the other focused on growth, embracing the challenge and moving forward. Guess who becomes stronger? The second one. In our daily lives too, we have to ask ourselves, do we choose comfort or growth? Comfort is hitting the snooze button and sleeping longer. Growth is waking up early and using that time to build your future. Comfort is avoiding difficult conversations. Growth is facing them with courage and honesty. Comfort is complaining when things don't go your way. Growth is taking responsibility and finding solutions. Mentally strong people are not addicted to comfort because they know comfort is temporary, but growth is permanent. You see, my friends, a comfortable life is like sitting in a soft chair all day. It feels nice in the moment, but over time it weakens your body. Growth, on the other hand, is like exercising. It may feel uncomfortable in the beginning, it may stretch you, it may make you sweat, but it leaves you stronger, healthier, and better prepared for the future. I remember once someone said, why does God give us so many difficulties? The answer is simple. Just as a coach makes an athlete train harder to prepare him for the real game, life makes us go through challenges to prepare us for our higher purpose. If everything was smooth, if everything was easy, We would never grow. We would remain the same person forever. But life's difficulties push us out of our comfort zone and show us the potential we never knew we had. Take the example of a seed. When it is buried under the soil, surrounded by darkness, pressed by weight, and broken open, it might feel like the end. But in reality, that's the beginning. Without that pressure, without that discomfort, the seed can never grow into a tree. Similarly, our discomforts are not the end of us, they are the beginning of our growth. So, my friends, if you are going through a tough time right now, don't only pray for the challenge to go away, pray for the strength to grow through it. Don't just ask, when will this end? Ask, how can I become stronger through this? Mentally strong people do not escape difficulties. They transform difficulties into stepping stones. And here is the beauty: once you focus on growth, comfort comes naturally. Because when you grow into a wiser, stronger, more peaceful person, even the challenges of life cannot shake you. Comfort is not in avoiding storms, but in becoming the kind of person who can sail through them with courage. So the choice is always in your hands. Will you chase temporary comfort, or will you choose lasting growth? Remember, comfort makes you soft, but growth makes you strong. And only the strong can truly live life with freedom, purpose, and peace. My dear friends, one of the greatest powers that mentally strong people possess is the ability to control their inner world. You see, life is not always about what happens on the outside. The outside world is filled with noise, negativity, challenges, and unpredictable events. We cannot always control the weather outside, but we can always choose the climate within us. And this is where mentally strong people stand apart. They don't let anger, fear, jealousy, or anxiety drive their life. Instead, they learn to control their thoughts and emotions in such a way that their inner world remains peaceful, no matter how stormy the outer world becomes. Think about it for a moment. Have you ever had a day where one small incident ruined your entire mood? Maybe you were driving and someone rudely cut you off in traffic. That one moment of irritation made you carry anger the whole day. You reached your office or your home with frustration, and it affected how you spoke to others. The person who cut you off didn't just control your morning. They controlled your entire day because you allowed your inner world to be hijacked. Mentally strong people don't let that happen. They don't give away the keys to their happiness so easily. They know, if I allow every little thing to disturb me, I will never have peace. Let me give you another example. Imagine you are holding a glass of water. If you keep it for a minute, it feels light. If you hold it for an hour, your arm starts aching. If you hold it the whole day, it becomes unbearable. The weight of the glass never changes, but your mind's relationship with it does. The same is true with anger, fear, and stress. If you hold on to them for too long, they crush you from within. Mentally strong people learn to put the glass down. They let go of what disturbs their peace. Now, controlling the inner world doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It doesn't mean pretending to be happy when you are not. It simply means responding wisely instead of reacting blindly. For instance, if someone insults them, they don't immediately fire back with anger. They pause, they breathe, they ask themselves, is this worth my peace of mind? Should I let this person control how I feel? Or should I rise above it? This pause, this awareness gives them power. Think of fire. If you throw dry leaves on it, it grows. If you throw water, it dies out. In the same way, when negative thoughts come, if you fuel them with more anger or fear, they consume you. But if you respond with calmness, with wisdom, with patience, the negativity loses its power. Mentally strong people know this secret. They train their mind to be like a calm lake, where even if stones are thrown, the ripples settle quickly. In our daily lives, we face so many triggers. The boss shouts, a colleague takes credit, the children don't listen, finances cause stress. It is so easy to blame the outer world for our unhappiness. But the truth is, the outer world will never be perfect. There will always be problems. If our peace depends on a perfect world, we will always suffer. That is why mentally strong people shift their focus. Instead of trying to control everything outside, they focus on mastering their inside. One beautiful example is the thermostat in your home. No matter whether it's hot outside or cold outside, the thermostat maintains the inner temperature of the house. Similarly, mentally strong people set their inner thermostat to peace, gratitude, and clarity. Even if the world outside becomes chaotic, they don't allow it to overheat or freeze their inner state. Let us remember, friends, that the mind is like a garden. If you leave it unattended, weeds of anger, fear, and doubt will grow. But if you consciously plant seeds of gratitude, faith, and calmness, it will bloom beautifully. Mentally strong people choose what they plant. They don't allow weeds to overtake their garden. They know that inner discipline is more powerful than outer control. And yes, this requires practice. It doesn't happen overnight. Just like an athlete trains every day, mentally strong people train their mind daily. Through self-reflection, through prayer, through meditation, through conscious choice of thoughts, they build the muscle of inner control. When anger arises, they don't fight it, they observe it. When fear arises, they don't collapse, they remind themselves of God's protection. When jealousy comes, they don't let it poison them, they focus on their own journey. This is why mentally strong people are not easily shaken. While others may panic in difficulties, they remain steady. While others drown in negativity, they rise above it. And while others give away their peace for small reasons, they protect their inner world as the greatest treasure. So, my dear friends, the real battlefield is not outside, it is inside. The war is not with others, it is with our own thoughts. And those who learn to master their inner world can live with peace even in chaos, with strength even in weakness, and with joy even in uncertainty. Remember, this life will always test you, people will always challenge you, circumstances will always change. But the choice to remain calm, centered, and strong, that choice is always yours. My dear friends, one of the most beautiful qualities of mentally strong people is that they do not rely only on their own limited strength. They understand a powerful truth: human ability has a limit, but God's strength has no limit. We may plan, we may try, we may work with all our energy, but there will always come moments in life when our efforts are not enough. And in those moments, mentally strong people don't collapse, they don't panic. Instead, they connect to the source of all strength. They turn their attention towards God, and that gives them resilience, courage, and unshakable peace. Think about it. How often do we try to control everything ourselves? We want to manage every detail, solve every problem, fix every relationship, and predict every outcome. But the truth is, life doesn't always bend according to our plans. Sometimes, no matter how hard you try, the results do not come. You study with full effort, but the exam goes poorly. You work day and night, but the business doesn't give profit. You care for someone deeply, but they don't respond with the same love. These situations break many people because they believed only in their own strength. When their strength failed, they fell apart. But mentally strong people know that their strength alone is never enough. They combine effort with faith. They work hard, but at the same time they rely on God. They say, I will do my best, but I know the final outcome is not in my hands. It rests in the hands of the divine. This surrender doesn't make them weak, it makes them stronger. Why? Because when things go wrong, they don't feel hopeless. They trust that God has a bigger plan. Let me give you an example. Imagine a child walking with his father. The road is rough, and the child is afraid he will fall. But when the father holds his hand, suddenly the child feels safe. The road hasn't changed, the stones are still there, but the presence of the father gives him courage. In the same way, when we hold the hand of God, life doesn't become free of problems, but our heart becomes free of fear. Mentally strong people know this, and that's why they walk with faith. Sometimes people say, if God is with me, why do I still have struggles? But let us remember, even a teacher gives the hardest test to the best students. The test is not a punishment. It is a preparation. God allows us to face challenges not to break us, but to make us stronger, wiser, and closer to Him. And those who rely on Him never feel abandoned. They may not always get what they want, but they always receive what they truly need. Now look at the world around us. Many people feel restless, anxious, and stressed because they think everything depends only on them. They carry the entire burden of life on their own shoulders. But mentally strong people share their burden with God. They say,